session, a talk with leaders with our ex-SUO Yaduvendra Solanki. Nothing is tough and nothing is impossible.
Truly, complying with the statement, SUO Yaduvendra Solanki, the alumni of BSSS NCC batch 2019-22, got recommended in CDS IMA 155th entry from 24 SSB Bengaluru. He will soon join the prestigious Indian Military Academy in Dehradun.
He completed his schooling from the Kendriya Vidyalaya and BTech graduation from the Lakshminarayan College of Technology. In the year 2019, he got enrolled in the BSSS NCC company.
Sir put a great deal of effort into his work, either physically, mentally or emotionally, and has achieved many milestones for himself as well as for the BSSS NCC company, such as attending the Republic Day Camp, Delhi, wherein he marched at Rajpath as the All India Right Marker and became the PM Rally Contingent Commander of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh Directorate.
He also attended the Special National Integration Camp held at Mumbai as the Battalion Senior Under Officer of the 4 MP Battalion NCC Bhopal. Later, he was awarded with the CWS Best Cadet of the 4 MP Battalion. Such a shiny record he maintained till now and has geared up himself to achieve more heights in the near future. I request Yaduvendra sir to please be on the stage to begin with the talk for which we all are excited since so long. The stage is all yours, sir.
Hi, hello everyone. Jai Hind. It's very nice to stand here, come back here at the same land in which I have invested 3 years of my NCC service. First of all, the most respected Associate NCC Officer of BSSS NCC, Lieutenant Nasir Ali sir. Both senior under officers, Arushi, Chakshu, my dearest friend Chirag, JU, and other respected ranks, and the most loved third year cadets, second year cadets, and the very junior, the first year cadets. Thank you so much for being here. Recently the speaker has said that all the achievement that I have earned in the 3 years of my NCC. I would say that I was the All India Right Marker of Rajpath contingent. I was the PM Rally Commander. I was at SNIC. I was at various camps. But I would tell you all that none of these achievements matters to me right now. The only thing that matters to me is that a sense of all of you that when I got recommended from 24 SSB Bengaluru, many of you had messaged me, sir, इतनी खुशी तो अपने लिए भी नहीं होगी जितनी आपके लिए हो रही है. So this was the biggest achievement that I have earned in my NCC career. You know, I'll tell you a fact. How many of you are aware of the conference day, the 5th day of SSB? Conference day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A few of you, I'll tell you. The SSB consists of 5 days. First one is screening, and then the rest is the process. The TAT, WAT, interview. The last day is called the conference day, on which all the officers who have assessed you, the interviewing officer, the psychologist, the GTO, group testing officers, and the technical officers, they all sit on a round table conference and they judge you. They expect you to answer the questions that they ask you. So they asked me, okay, Yaduvendra, tell me that if you get recommended, whom will you call first? And then rank as per your priority. I said, sir, obviously, I'll call my sister because she comes first in my family. Then I'll call my rest of the family. And on the third place, I'll call my juniors, the NCC juniors. They said, why? Why NCC juniors? We all know that what happens in NCC, the seniors and juniors have very bitter relations. That is how what happens in NCC. I said, no, sir. This is not the case of my NCC in which I belong, the BSSS NCC. My juniors have huge expectation from me. And every junior that I have met in my NCC tenure, they have always said that, sir, someday we want to see you with that plus sign wearing on your chest. So I told them this and they were very happy. One of the officers, the deputy president of SSB, told me that this sentence that you have spoken shows that you are a leader, that you have evolved from your NCC and you are a leader. So I always wanted to share this experience with you. Coming to the context, I am here to share my experience at how I cleared the UPSC CDS exam and then the SSB following. Now, I would request you all that if you have any doubt or wherever you want to interrupt me, please do it. I would love to answer any question you ask by you. I would love to get interrupted by you. Okay, so please let it be an interactive sessions, because in future times you are going to appear in the SSB. So your question and your doubt can decide whether you can lead yourself to a point above than the recent where you are standing. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So please feel free to ask any question. Now there are two contexts. One is the UPSC CDS exam and second one is recommendation. Now I would ask you all that what you want to listen first, the CDS exam or this SSB interview?
The CDS exam.
CDS exam?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that totally matters. Because that is how you only clear the exam and then only you appear for the SSB. You know, UPSC, how many of you have appeared in any UPSC exam till now? Very few? Okay, fine. You know, UPSC is a very smart organization. It's very smart. The officers who set the paper of UPSC are very smart. They do not check your knowledge, that how much knowledge you have or how much studies you have done. They set a standard to become an officer. And specifically talking about Indian Army and Indian Armed Forces, they set a standard for the CDS exam. Explaining it more briefly, they set a standard, for example, that there is a syllabus, and if you study that syllabus, you will, in span of time studying that syllabus, continuously preparing for 6 months, you will automatically change your personality. I'll tell you my experience. I prepared for CDS exam for 6 months. And frankly speaking, the change I saw in me after 6 months, when I came back to home after giving CDS exam, was actually much more than the change I saw in myself in 3 years of NCC service. That is how UPSC transforms you. If you prepare for CDS exam, you will transform yourself. And for clearing the UPSC CDS exam, you must have one thing in your mind, that you have to clear a standard. You have to clear a standard that UPSC is asking from you. If you clear the CDS exam, then it means that you are eligible to become an officer in Indian Army, irrespective of qualifying the SSB later, but at that point you are eligible to become an officer in Indian Army or Indian Armed Forces. Right? So this is the basic whole thing of CDS. Coming to the syllabus. Syllabus is known by every one of you. Although I'll tell you that for boys there is IMA. In IMA there comes maths, general awareness and English. For girls, of course, there is short service commission. Only general knowledge and English paper is there. And do you also want to know that what all studies need to be put into preparation?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. How many of you have attended that session Soumitra Chaudhary sir has came here? Assistant Commandant. Ex-Assistant Commandant, okay. He's my guru also. And he knows me very well. So I studied geography from under his guidance. And rest of the subjects, for example, history, polity, and economics, English, mathematics, I studied it by the standard books. For polity there is M. Lakshmikant. For geography there is G.C. Lone. For English there is S.P. Bakshi. Right? And for economics you can study from YouTube. It has very short syllabus. And English I studied from S.P. Bakshi. And mathematics I practiced previous year questions as much as possible. And you know, I'll give you a crux. For clearing UPSC CDS exam, two standard classes are important. First one is the 9th class, second one is the 10th class. If you do not have any resources, even if these standard books, you can go through the NCRTs of these two classes, the 9th and 10th class, each and every book of NCRT. And then, if you feel confident, then you can move up to 11th and 12th NCRT books. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is, basically for a student who belongs to commerce background or arts background, it's quite tough to understand,
Yes, sir.
right? But you have to do it. If you want to clear CDS exam, if you want to see yourself as an officer, then you have to match that standard that UPSC has set for you, right? CDS has helped me so much. When you prepare for CDS and when you clear exam, or even if you do not clear exam, you get an confidence inside you that yes, I can sit for 12 hours and I can study without any distractions. If you can make your routine like that, not even 12 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours, that is also enough. But if you can sit for 6 hours and 8 hours without getting distracted and studying continuously with having short duration of breaks, you can clear CDS exams, right? And once you clear CDS exam, then you get confidence. Okay, I have a stamina of 12 hours of studying or 8 hours of studying. Then what is SSB? What is SSB? The syllabus of SSB, I can cover it in 1 or 2 months. That is the thing. Yes.
So what was your daily routine?
Okay. My daily routine is actually right now that I wake up at 5:30, and as an officer you also have to be all-rounder. So I go for workout until from 8 to 9 I do all the necessary work of house, taking bath and doing all those unnecessary things. Then from 9 to 1:30 PM I study. Then 1:30 to 3:30 I take break for lunch. 3:30 to 6 PM I study again. 6 to 7 I take break. 7 to 10 I study again, and at 10:30 I go for sleep. Right? Many of you are thinking, sir, how is it possible? Right? I know, I understand it. I was not able to follow this routine for first few weeks, but by putting efforts, it comes into your routine. Right?
Yes, sir.
This was my routine.
Yes, sir.
Right? And girls do not have to worry so much about it, because this is the routine of boys, because boys ultimately have to clear for the military academy. So they also have to study mathematics. For girls, the studies is sufficient for 6 hours or 5 hours. Okay, so if you can put this efforts in your daily routine, you can clear CDS exam. Right? One more thing, that revision is the key. The more you revise again and again. One thing that you have studied, do not get, come in ego that yes, I have studied it, now I do not have to study it. No, it doesn't happen. Revise each and everything again and again. Make a routine. I would say, rather than studying the syllabus holistically, focus on revising as much as possible. Right? Revision is the key, even for SSB or for UPSC CDS exam, or even if you want to appear in the UPSC civil services exam. Revision is the key. If you revise, if you have total collection of all the data that you have studied in your preparation, in your mind, then you're good to go to clear the CDS. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any doubt? Please ask doubt so that I can manipulate my content regarding CDS exam. Yes, please.
Jain sir, during the 5 days in SSB, what you face so difficult?
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Roshan Raj Sahu,
Yeah.
cadet.
Yeah, I call you South. South, please wait for some time. I'll come to the SSB point. Then I'll answer your question. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So currently we are focusing on CDS. Yes.
So you belonging to a BTech, I think you were doing BTech.
Yes.
So was it hard for you to study economics, political science? Because it was a very different subject what you study in college.
Yes. It was actually very hard to maintain BTech at one time, NCC at one time, right, and preparing for CDS at another time. So three things I was doing parallelly. It was quite hard, but what I say, if you want to become, then you will do anything which is required, right? First you have to set in your mind that what do you really want to become it or not? Do you really want to see yourself as an officer in Indian Armed Forces or not? Once your mind said, yeah, yes, I want this, then you will do anything, right? It totally depends on your routine. If you have proper routine, then you can manage anything, right? You just have to divide your timetable as per your priorities, right? So that's it.
So do you have to make some sacrifices for it? Like if you were earlier, for example, I'm in sports, so I play every day.
Yes.
So it's like a need for me. So do I have to sacrifice my sports? Like I play 3 to 4 hours at least. So do I have to sacrifice that and put in efforts on studying?
Friend, if you want to appear for Indian Military Academy,
Yes, sir.
if you want to write the mathematics exam, then forget everything.
Yes, sir.
Right? It will cost you sleep. You understand?
Yes, sir.
It will cost your sleep. So you have to sacrifice these things
Yes, sir.
for short duration of time. Later on, after completing 6 months of preparation, you will get used to it automatically, right?
Yes, sir.
So for girls there is no problem, but for boys who want to appear for Indian Military Academy, then this is working. That's the thing. For girls it is quite easy. Easier than boys, but actually not easy than a normal civilian who is not preparing for any exam. Okay. Yes, please.
Sir, how do you channelize your time in regards of subjects?
Yes. For serious exam, you need to understand that the English paper is very important. English is the very scoring subject. So what I used to do, I used to divide the subjects into ratio. 4:2:4 means 4 point for English, 2 point for general awareness, and 4 point for mathematics. Do you understand? And these ratio actually means the hard work that I need to put in the subjects. So I'll tell you in my routine at 9 a.m. I used to start studying. I used to start preparing for English, and till 1:30 p.m. I used to continue English in that morning routine. And then after having my break at 3:30, I used to study my my mathematics section till from 3:30 to 6 p.m. Right. So till 6 I used to study mathematics, and then after 6 I used to give my time to the general awareness section. Right. Because English you need to learn so much of rules. There are so many rules, grammatical rules. So for that you have to give your time in morning only. And also also the things that I have studied after 6 p.m. in the evening time, I used to revise it every day, waking at 5:30 p.m. so that the general awareness things get concrete in my mind. Right? So this was the routine. Yeah. Anyone else also had raised? Yes, please.
So, what was your strategy for current affairs?
Current affairs, I have a habit of reading newspaper, the Hindu newspaper, daily since 2 years. Since 2 years, I've been reading that newspaper. So from that section, I covered my current affairs. Also, I prepared a strategy to cover 2 sources for the current affairs. First one is not the newspaper. That is my habit. But 2 sources were. First one is Unacademy channel. Unacademy channel covers current affairs. So I used to cover current affairs from there. First source. Second source, I used to cover current affairs from a Instagram page. There is Instagram page upscdesire.com. You might have heard about it or saw about it. upscdesire.com. There is a page in Instagram. So these 2 sources I used to follow, and I used to make notes about it. And I used to revise current affairs daily. Whenever I used to get time, I used to revise current affairs daily. Right? So pick 2 sources of current affairs and 1 habit of newspaper. This will be sufficient for your current affairs, and even sufficient for your SSB knowledge also. Okay. Anyone else also has raised hands? No? No one has any other doubt about CDS exam? Yes?
Sir, is it necessary to go through all the topics in deeply, or for CDS since there are MCQs and all?
Yeah.
So do we have to go really that deep? because
Yeah.
then we have to face the SSB.
Yeah, okay. See, this is a question that every aspirant faces during the preparation of CDS, right? That how much do we have to study? You know, every UPSC exam has certain syllabus and certain pattern. If you practice the previous year questions asked in CDS exam, you will get an idea that how much you need to study, right? Do you get it? Right? Everyone has different understanding. I have different understanding. You have different understanding. Maybe as per your understanding, you will understand that this much I need to understand, because ultimately no one scores full marks in CDS UPSC exam, right? You can only clear the cutoff, or you can only score good marks, right? So more you practice previous year question, more you will catch the pattern in which the UPSC is giving questions, right? So practice previous year questions as much as possible. Okay, you get it?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please ask.
Sir, how do we prepare of history part?
Okay, history.
It is very hard.
Okay, these are the questions which you should ask. You know, history is a subject which you can't prepare thoroughly. Thoroughly and totally, both, you can't prepare it. Because UPSC can ask any question from history side, right? So what you can do, you can prepare a short syllabus of history. For example, if you practice previous year question, you will understand that in UPSC CDS exam, they generally ask questions more from the modern history section, right? Modern history section, Mahatma Gandhi, these all sections, you know. The modern history that started after 1957. 1857 के बाद का जो युद्ध, उसके बाद जो हिस्ट्री चालू हुई वो है मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, ठीक है? तो वो वाली हिस्ट्री में से सबसे ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आते हैं सीरियस. तो दैट यू कैन प्रिपेयर थॉरली, but not whole history you can prepare thoroughly and totally. Okay, so you got my point. But that also doesn't mean that you leave the ancient history and the medieval history. You can't leave anything, but you have to channelize your focus more on your priorities, right? Shall I move forward to SSB part, or anyone? Yes, please ask question.
Sir, how did you prepare for English, and is it necessary to read novels and books?
Yes. Your first question. That first I took classes of English grammar, right? Irrespective of how much good English you can speak, but you do not actually understand the grammar of English. You know, you all know, we all are sitting here from English medium school, you know, English medium college, but actually at this point of time also many of you would not be able to recall the rules of English. So for that you need to take classes of English grammar. Not necessary to go on offline classes, there are a lot of online classes of English grammar. You know, first concrete your grammar section of English, and then practice it more and more, right? And focus on English as much as possible. Practice questions of English as much as possible. Okay, this is your first answer of your first question. Second question, whether it is necessary for read novels and newspapers? Yes, it is necessary. Just recall what I said, that practice more and more. And reading novels, reading newspaper comes into practice. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And not even connecting to the CDS, connecting to it to SSB. Reading novels, reading newspaper is very necessary quality that they seek in any candidate in service selection board. Right? I give you an example. Okay, how many of you run some kilometers every day? Okay. And how many of you read novels every day? You don't read novels? Yes, please raise hand. Okay. And how many of you are indulged in some activities like playing guitar, dancing, singing? Yes. You know what I observed? And all of you are sitting here to become an officer?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let me tell you, to become an officer, they seek all these three qualities in one single candidate. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you more briefly. Running, it helps you physically. Reading novel is a mental hobby. It broadens up the horizon of your mind, right? It improves your imagination. Playing guitar or dancing or reading religious texts is a spiritual hobby that makes you calm and composed. Do you understand me? Playing guitar, dancing and all these recreational activities are spiritual hobbies. To become an officer in Indian Armed Forces, a candidate must have these three kind of hobbies in his personality or her personality. You understand? If you get posted in Siachen, there you will not get phones or laptops. Once in a week you will get communication. What will you do? You will see only mountains? No. The officers who are posted in Siachen, they play guitar. Right? They dance, they sing, they read novels. You know, that is why these qualities are sought in a candidate. Okay? Yeah, any more questions? Yes, please ask.
So how you have prepared your notes for CDS examination?
Okay.
Because in my case, I don't like making notes separately. I just take in my book only and write those things.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you. The notes were made very short and crisp. Very short and crisp. In that manner in which I can understand my notes. Notes जो थे काफी छोटे and काफी crisp. Short and crisp. Okay. So this is how I made my notes. And मैंने ऐसे notes बनाए जो मैं जब पढ़ूं तो मुझे आसानी हो और मैं आराम से उनको पढ़ लूं. ठीक है? Next thing, why notes making is important. Many of you might not be knowing it. आपने कभी एक बहुत बेसिक सी चीज सुनी है? लिख लिख के याद करो.
Yes, sir.
That is the thing. सिलेबस इतना बड़ा है कि आप सारी चीजें बस बुक से याद कर ही नहीं सकते. हो ही नहीं पाएगा आपसे. राइट? आप नोट्स बनाओगे तो अंडरस्टैंड दिस. आप नोट्स बनाओगे तो आगे फ्यूचर में आपको हेल्प होगी. मीन्स 2-3 दिन बाद जब आपको रिवाइज करना होगा तो पहले आपको हेल्प हो जाएगी. दूसरी चीज, जब आप नोट्स बनाओगे तो जो आपने माइंड में समझा है वो आप कॉपी में पेन से लिख रहे हो. राइट? तो उससे आपको और जो चीजें जो है कॉन्क्रीट होते जाएंगी. फिर पता है क्या होगा, जब एग्जाम में बैठोगे ना, कोई क्वेश्चन आएगा आपके नोट्स में से, तो आपको अपने दिमाग से लगाना पड़ेगा. आपके दिमाग में ऑलरेडी इमेज आ जाए कि हाँ, उस पन्ने में मैंने इस कोने पे ये चीज लिखी थी. टिक कर देते हैं, है ना? होता है ना?
Yes, sir.
यही चीज करनी है. ठीक है? तो नोट्स बनाने का फायदा ये है. कॉपी बना लो खूब सारी, कोई मतलब नहीं है. एक बार अगर पैसे इन्वेस्ट करना है ना तो कर दो. टू बिकम एन ऑफिसर यू हैव टू रेज योर स्टैंडर्ड्स. राइट? रेजिंग स्टैंडर्ड मीन्स अगर कहीं पे पैसा लग रहा है आपके प्रिपरेशन में तो लगाओ. वन टाइम इन्वेस्टमेंट है. एक सैलरी में आपका पूरा वापस आ जाएगा अगर बन गए. राइट? तो कभी इस चीज में मत झिझकना. मैंने कभी नहीं झिझका. जहां मेरा पैसा लगा, चाहे ट्रेन का पैसा लग रहा है, फ्लाइट का पैसा लग रहा है, लगा दो. इट्स वन टाइम इन्वेस्टमेंट इन लाइफ. राइट? धार्मिक लोग नहीं चाहिए उन्हें. नो वन. मेनी ऑफ यू माइट बी थिंकिंग इट टिल नाउ before hearing this from me. Okay, I would recommend you to bring peace and calm to your mind. You should be some sort of little bit religious person. अगर कोई बहुत बड़ा है तो कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन अगर कोई नहीं है तो उसको थोड़ा सा तो हो जाना चाहिए. You know why? Because ये जो जर्नी है ना, सीडीएस से लेके एसएसबी तक, इतनी प्रेशर वाली जर्नी है. आपके माइंड पे इतना प्रेशर डालती है कि कैंडिडेट्स जो एस्पायरेंट रहते हैं ना, वो रो देते हैं. इवन आई क्राइड नॉट वंस 2-3 टाइम्स. यार कब होगा, कब तक चलने वाला है. ये काफ़ी प्रेशर डालती है. तो ये प्रेशर से अपने आप को बचाने के लिए ना, when if you are a little bit religious person, अगर आप थोड़ा बहुत भी अपने भगवान में मानते हैं ना, तो आपके माइंड में पीस एंड काम रहेगा. और उस पीस एंड काम की ही ज़रूरत है हर जगह. अगर आपके माइंड में पीस एंड काम है, आप हंस रहे हो, आपका मतलब रोज़मर्रा की लाइफ में आप हंस मिसाज हो, तो वही आपको काम आगे तक ले जाएगा. राइट? तो ये सारी चीज़ें जो है ना, थोड़ी ऊपरी लगती है कि नहीं सर हमें थोड़ा डिटेल बताओ, हिस्ट्री में आपने कैसे क्वेश्चन करे वो बताओ. नहीं, ये सब आप खुद भी कर लोगे जब आप एक बार प्रिपरेशन के स्टेज में आओगे. सब कर लेते हैं. बट ये जो ऊपर की चीज़ है ना, टू बी अ लिटिल बिट रिलीजियस, टू बी काम एंड कंपोज इन योर माइंड, हमेशा शांत. टू बी एन ऑफिसर यू कैन नॉट बी ऑलवेज हा. अगर आपको हा करना है तो गो इन अग्निवीर. राइट? इफ यू वांट टू बिकम एन ऑफिसर यू नीड टू बी काम इन योर माइंड. राइट? Calm. Right? Anyone else? Yes, please.
Jai sir.
Yes.
So what could be a good revision strategy?
Sorry.
Sir, what could be a good revision strategy?
Revision strategies. Okay. Whatever you have studied a night before, make a note of it. राइट। जैसे आप पूरे हफ्ते का बनाओगे ना कि मुझे इस दिन हिस्ट्री पढ़ना है, इस दिन मुझे ज्योग्राफी पढ़ना है, पैरेलली आपको टाइम टेबल बनाना पड़ेगा कि मुझे इस दिन पढ़ना तो हिस्ट्री है बट रिवाइज मेरे को ज्योग्राफी करना है, पढ़ना तो मुझे मैथ्स है बट रिवाइज मुझे इंग्लिश करना है। ये हर दिन का आपको टाइम टेबल बनाना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। जब ये हर दिन का आप टाइम टेबल बनाओगे तो आपका रिवीजन जो है हर हफ्ते होता रहेगा, कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ का रिवीजन होता ही रहेगा, तो वो आपको हेल्प कर देगा, ठीक है। तो यही रिवीजन की स्ट्रैटेजी है। एवरी डे यू हैव टू रिवाइज। ओके, एनीवन एल्स? ओके, so let's move on to the SSB part. One of my friend has asked, sir, what is the environment there? कैसा रहता है? Pressurized रहता है? Of course, pressure रहता है काफ़ी. Okay, SSB Service Selection Board is also a smart process, even much more smarter than UPSC. Right? They are inducting officers on whose shoulders the country will lie in the coming time. Right? So from the day one, from the point when you report your SSB, they put pressure on you. But as an NCC cadet, we have already seen so much of pressure, right? अगर कोई नॉर्मल एक सिविलियन इंसान वहाँ पे जाएगा, उसको एक वहाँ पे स्टाफ अगर बोल देगा अरे लाइन में, तो जनरली उसकी हार्ट बीट तेज हो जाएगी, ठीक है। बट हम अगर NCC कैडेट अगर वहाँ जाते हैं, हमारा तो रोज का ही काम है, ठीक है। PI स्टाफ को रोज ही देखते हैं, ठीक है, रोज देखिए तो क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है, ठीक है, बोल ले लाइन में, आ जाएंगे लाइन में, हम आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो वो हमें अफेक्ट नहीं करती उतना, बट यस प्रेशर होता है, राइट। Anyone else had any question before about SSB? One more had any question? Yes, you. What was your question? Please ask me.
So during the 5 days in SSB, what would you suggest us that we have to work on a certain field?
Okay, please. Okay, got it. You know certain things. The first one that I told you about hobbies. What should be the hobbies in one personality? There are certain things. Effective intelligence, sense of responsibility, reasoning ability, calm and composed from your mind. At the same time, you should be lively. Do you understand what does it mean? Liveliness, हंसमुख, मजाक करने वाला, ज़्यादा नहीं, balance, dedicated, determination, courage. These all are the qualities that you need to follow in your SSB. Okay, does anyone believe that these are qualities are possible to follow by one person?
Yes, sir.
Can one person follow these all qualities and one go?
Yes, sir.
Yes? No, of course not.
Okay.
Right? We are not God. We are simple human being. But what you can do, can you just try to inculcate all these qualities in one go? Of course, we can try. And by just trying it, you can achieve to certain level, and that level is only needed in SSB, right? Okay. So this is how this is the content that you need to keep in your SSB. Also, very important thing, teamwork. A team player gets recommended for sure in SSB, right? If you are a team player, if you know how to perform in team, right? If you know how to lead your team to the best thing, then surely you have good chances, right? Sense of cooperation that I missed, cooperation with your colleagues, right? These are the things which are needed.